Alright, hey you beautiful big heads, your boy Zatchul, and we're just going to talk about the 3.0 story for Honkai Star Rail. So, this is just from the top of my head, not thought too much about it. Literally finished it last night because I finally had time to do it, and I'm literally waking up and talking about it now. So I quickly jotted down some points that I do remember, and then I'm going to try and articulate them right now in real time. Is this a good idea? I don't fucking know. But it's coming straight from my head, so it's fresh and it's honest. So, yeah. So first thing on my little list is the black screens really do need to go. They just don't really serve a purpose because many of the things that are being expressed in the dark screens with text seem like they could easily be done, whether it be you slowly moving over in the water with Aglaya, or when Aglaya's talking to that one councilwoman and they say she scoffs and walks away. You couldn't just animate that. It's like little things like that. It just makes the developers seem lazy because the things that they are expressing through these black screens don't even seem that complicated to do. Next up on the list is more character body expression. Honestly, after seeing the same idle animations over and over again, they start to become really noticeable. Literally, because before I actually, sat down and I'm recording this right now because I have the entire story recorded. I recorded the entire thing. It's literally taking up 155 gigabytes of my fucking space. But literally, as I went back through real quick, because before doing this, I literally just skimmed through it just, to get a refresh feeling of everything that went on. And, really sitting back and looking at it again, those out of animations is kind of crazy how they really are just cycling through the same ones over and over again, because you really start to notice after you just sit there and look through it a second time. Yeah, just more bodily expression overall would just be nice instead of just seeing every character do the same things over and over again, especially because from a animation point of view with these poses that they're doing, if the rigging is really good, which more likely it is, I have complete faith in Honkai Star Rail's rigging because it's a professional company. They can just transition the animations from one character to another. Literally, the motions that are being done for one rigging can be transitioned to another character. So, once they've done the folding animation, they only got to translate that to the next character's model, and it's just going to be the same folding animation. They're not really refolding the character's arms and everything else. That's not what they're doing. Every time they fold a character's arms, they're not refolding them. So, just y'all can use some of those resources, to just make more expressive, bodily movement for characters. Like, I'm fine with all the, standard basic poses for random NPC characters, like, Damionis, whatever his name was. Like, characters like him, the side characters, I'm fine with that. But actual important characters like Aglaya, Mighty, Snowy, all those guys, Trine, Treeby, all those little fucks, they should have more expressive character bodily movements to really express them as a character instead of the generic ones that all the characters already have. Moving forward, the Bath Spirit scene where the Bath Spirit is, talking to you about the history of the world and whatnot. That scene I honestly do not like because one is just literally the back of people's head facing you with a butterfly flapping in front of you speaking to you. Now the voice of the butterfly, the first voice, I actually quite enjoy, the way it was telling the story, but then it transitions to the kitty voice, and from that point onwards, I didn't like it as much because, again, even one of the text options was, I feel like I'm being talked to as a child. I'm fine with that little thing being there for people who want that, but okay, it should have been like this. They should have had the little professional voice there for people who wanted that, and then you could have had a dialogue option to simplify it more for people who wanted the little kitty voice. But on top of that, they should have actually, if anything, they wouldn't even have to animate this part, but I wanted them to actually show the history of this place, because they could easily use like mural paintings or stone etchings in a wall to show the history that they are speaking of, and it would have went perfectly fine with the whole Greek aesthetic that's going on in this place. Having stone etchings on a wall to depict the history would have been perfect instead of just having a butterfly flapping in front of you telling you the story. I just didn't like it, They could have did it a better way instead of having Mr. Butterfly in my face just flapping around. And then next up is the Damionis situation, which Damionis, I don't know how to say that boy's name, the Explorer boy, all right? I do not like that. I didn't like that situation, like the entire setup of that situation, from us meeting him, everything like that, and him, having suspicions that we are of the skies or whatever. Like, I had no problem with that. My problem was once we got to where he was threatening to try and be Icarus and jump off and try to fly into the sky heavens above, obviously he would probably kill himself. But I just don't like that, because we had other options other than us just telling him, all right, we'll tell you what you want since you're gonna hurt yourself. Man, I am the galactic baseballer. Can I just not smack him upside his head, knock him unconscious real quick, and just take him to Aglaé and persuade her to let him in on, the information, so he'll just stop? Or even if he does jump, right? Can't Dung Hung just fly and get him? Can't the Imbibitor Lune fly? Right? Can he? The nigga can hover at most. I'm just saying, there was other things we could have did before just telling him, right? Like, straight up. I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. And like, I have no problem with, what happens after, where, we broke our promise, so now Aglaé is, a little hostile towards us, even though she really was in actuality, because she was doing it so we could become closer to Castrus and Snowy. Like, yeah, I get it, right? I just feel like we could have went about it a completely different way, instead of us just bending to this man who's threatening to kill himself because he wants to know information. That's just me personally. I just just because of that like little interaction between us and Damionis alone. But on top of that, right? They just let Damionis go after he just promises not to tell nobody. They just let him go. So again, knock his ass unconscious, drag him to her, and then just discuss it. Right? I'm not crazy for this, right? Okay. Whatever. Next point. This is just something that I just want because I'm a greedy little fucker. That's what I've been told. I'm very greedy. So honestly, with how much they showed us Snowy and Mighty, I honestly feel like they could have just gave us trial version, like story trial versions of them, like where we couldn't look at the kits or anything else, but like just to let us play them in certain parts, because they're just there so predominantly, and just I love both the characters. I feel a lot of sexual tension between the two of them. I think they should kiss, but just giving us a little trial version just to get a little taste of them would have been nice. Just a little taste. Also, they could have just let us use Snowy, like a Snowy version prior to him getting his godly powers. That just would have been cool to do, because then when we actually got him in a similar version, it would have been different, because it would have been him after we already got the Strife Titans powers and everything else. So yeah, it's more work, but fuck it, it would have been cool. Fuck it. Like, literally, I'm being honest, this is me being greedy, I know, but like, fuck it, why not? Now, for those of you who have made it this far into the video, thank you for watching this far. But overall, I actually do like the story of Amphoreus 3.0. Story itself, right, is really good. The actual story minus everything else, like the context of the story, I'll give it like a 8 out of 10. Like, the actual story is really good. It's a good story. But there's always a but, you gotta always see that but coming. But with the parts that I feel like just seem lazy, and just the unexpressiveness of the characters in some instances, or well, many instances, honestly, because of how much they're just standing there and not really moving around too much, it's a 6.5 out of 10. That's just me. If you don't like it, you don't have to. I mean, agree to disagree, that's what I believe in. But yeah, good story. Just they need to work on telling the story. They could take some notes from ZZZ, because they run by the same different teams, but they're both under Hoyo. They could take notes on how to tell a story. Yeah, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm petty. Anyways, love you guys, and bye-bye.